What's up, everybody? This is Ed. We're back with another video, another quick episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. And by the way, and what I want to do is do a quick video responding to a subscriber, a female subscriber. Well, not a subscriber. I actually don't think she subscribed, to be honest with you. But anyway, she made a comment and that I wanted to jump on. It gave me, it wasn't really anything significant or profound, but I wanted to give it, a proper response because it gives me, people can pretty much be updated for those of you all that are new to my stuff on my policies on certain things. Also, I will be on a channel tomorrow. I'll probably do another stream later on the day to kind of let you all know what that is. I'll share in the community tab. It's a nice, it's a dude that pretty much requested for me to do an interview with me. So, we'll basically do that. So keep that in mind. This is from. Okay, this is okay. I can see why she found this. So this is from the video that says a man calling another man a kitten. You scared? I'm gonna tell you why. And then she pretty much put, can't judge people's preferences. If a man isn't sexually attracted to another race, I can understand. If you want to breed outside your race, do it, but don't put your views on other people. Okay, so first things first. I really don't understand why somebody would even make a comment like that. The reality of the situation is I'm gonna say what I want to say, irregardless of what you do. Just like how you have women, having a quote unquote divesting movement. So I don't even know what's the point of even making that comment. I mean, better things will be worried about talking to, like, worried about the BET awards. So anyway, with that being said, here's my policy when it comes to black people's preferences. Black women in particular, they can want what they want. Appreciate that, W. Alfonso. Appreciate the father. Black women can want what they want for what they want. The issue that we have as black men is pretty much when black women lie on. They're basically lying on their womb. They go back and they try to rewrite history, and they try to throw dudes under the bus as though somebody imposed their will on them. Unless you were R-worded, you consented to having sex, and you wanted it, or you wanted what the outcome of it would be, and you made an agency decision. So what happens is, in order to maintain the value of their womb, whether they got a kid, not got a kid, they're older, whatever, lies and stories get told about, you're a victim of your own sexuality. So women can choose what they want to choose for whatever reason, whether it's interracial, whatever. They just got to own what they choose. And when I say own what they choose, I mean that from the perspective of stop making up these stories as if black men don't know what you do and why you do it. Yes, there's some goofy ass dudes that fall for that shit, but it is what it is. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing to deal directly with her comment was that, she's saying I can't judge people's preferences. I'm not judging people's preferences, but I do know when dudes are lying or not. And I know the difference between dudes that are, let's keep it real. There is no, let's keep this all the way 100. Humans are not biologically wired to only be attracted to just one race or one ethnic group. So anybody saying that is lying. Okay. Now, it may be true. You may not have preference. You may not like white women or Latin women or Asian women. True. But if you say I am only sexually attracted to black women, I didn't say you prefer it, but you say you're that person is a liar. They're lying. And they're lying in order to sexually politic for women. This is that you a queen, I only love you. It's designed to butter you up in order for sex. And let's keep it all the way real. Dudes that are wanted don't have to do that. And I'll give you a perfect example. It's been an ongoing joke that, you'll have dudes that will preach pro-black and sleep white. So this is not me imposing anything. I'm basically giving the game that they're lying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not invested in them in dudes needing to date out. But when they say that, they're lying. I'm only attracted to black women. Well, let's define black. What are we talking about? Light skin, dark skin. What are we talking about? Hell, even Ethiopian, East African, and West African is not the same thing. What type of features? Like, dudes are lying. And this is a way for dudes to kind of get into a female's insecurities in order to, and here's the funny part. Dudes don't have to do that. If a woman wants to deal with you, she's going to want to deal with you irregardless of what you do for the most part. So all that extra buttering up is not necessary. Hold on one second. And women, shout out to Georgia Boy. And women have these like narratives that they need, these world views that they need to hold up. Even black, a lot of black women lie to themselves saying, well, I'm attracted to only black men. Yeah, you may have a preference for them, sure. And most people have a preference for their group. I give you that. But this idea that people are only, that's what my comment was that she's responded to. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not true. It's not about me needing it to be true. It's not true. Just like when black women say they only date with black men. Well, truth be told, and they'll try to act like that's an overwhelming amount, but we know on the low, black women are fucking white men and non-black men. These motherfuckers are lusting like a motherfucker over so many people. Yes, I know black women that they want a dark skinned black man, but remember, it wasn't like 30 years ago where the last generation were obsessed with light skinned dudes, Prince, DeBarge, all of that. Like, that stuff can swing. Just like how, if they imprint these generation alphas with people of color, women of color, and you start to associate class and race doesn't matter, they're going to come out a little bit different as far as what their preferences are. And I'm going to tell you something. I could have been a motherfucker. And when I say motherfucker, I mean there's quite a few women I dated that their moms were attractive and they gave me a certain type of look. And you know what that look is. So that stuff sticks with you. So that's all I was saying. And then she just tried to interpret it. And I understand she doesn't listen to me often. A lot of my stuff is kind of like a soap opera the way I talk, because it's not like an enclosed video. It's more like you got to kind of get it. But she was pretty much. I got y'all on the super chats, and make sure y'all hit the Cash App too. But that I can't judge people's preferences. I know when dudes are bullshitting. That's all I'm saying. It's not judgment. If a man is sexually attracted to other races, I can understand. Of course you can. Of course you can understand. Of course you would think you can understand based on your female worldview. But men are there to appropriate. This is like, what's crazy? It's kind of like, people want to say white men conquered the world. So what's the point in interbreeding with other races then? If your women are the best, because men don't think that way. They don't. Even if they prefer and they want to have kids with their own, men, no group thinks that way. No group thinks that way. Some are more worse than others. And so my point was, she pretty much fed that from a standpoint of emotion. And this is where shit gets dumb. It gets immature. And it becomes like, and we shouldn't even have to go through these things, but we have to go through these things because you got people that really are running around here believing the world is flat, that are living among us. So anyway, shout out to Xander. Taraji P. Henson said we want our men back. Grinch had a masterful video on that. I shared it. Y'all should check it out. I'll comment on it a little bit, but I would defer to Grinch's video on that because he covered that. Xander with the Z supporting the channel. Just shout out to the $2 super sticker. Justin March, $2 super sticker. Lone Wolf linebacker. Appreciate your perspective, bro. And I appreciate that y'all appreciate it. I definitely do. I definitely do. I really do. That's why I try to respond to every comment that y'all make, while I can. Shout out to Aaron B, Katie Ray's, Deacon Dave, Kevin Lukeman. I'm curious to hear your feedback on the BET Awards. I didn't see it. I've heard stories about it. I've seen stills because I can't avoid it. I've seen a couple of stills, so I'll comment on that. Katie Ray, JR, Flip Cool. Well, my views are my views. I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, if you gotta fight other races, because you can't. Here's my. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, and I believe this across the board. If your women are fucking other races of men, black men kind of have a cheat code because we've always had to deal with that. And because our women don't know how to fucking act, they don't know how to fucking act. We'll leave it at that, as a group. But, as far as other groups, the reality of the situation is that's a personal problem between you and your women. It really is. And I mean, it really is. And what I would say is white men are considered at the top, yet they stay being hemorrhaging. They stay losing to not only, they stay losing to Latin men and black men. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, I personally do not have, I feel, look, I'm 5'5". I give no fucks about what anybody wants to cry about what the BBC is doing and all that. Because truth be told, black men, for the most part, black men are 6% of the motherfucking population. The reality is black men don't even have these overwhelming numbers. Like Latin men can overwhelm folks, just like how Muslims are overwhelming whites in Europe. Black men don't have the numbers. And quite frankly, if I was let's say somebody was Latin, I would say if I was them, I would encourage black men to date out. I mean, not date out. I would encourage black men to go overseas. Why? Because number one, it's only 6 million. It's only really 12 million black men, and all of them ain't gonna go. It's a cost expensive thing, so only like 25% can do it, which means you're really down to about 4 million at best, assuming all of them are doing it, which they're not. Only 6% of black men. Only 6% of black people have passports. And also, there's plenty of African, and I mean African Latinos that a lot of these dudes would be perfectly happy with. Don't even need to deal with Latin chicks. You can spread it out. But people don't think that way. It's not enough African American men to even be worried about that, to be honest with you. And it ain't like every African American man is like 6'2" or some shit. Only like about, let's say 20% of black men are 6 foot. I mean, the numbers aren't there for people to really be in their feelings about it in the way that they are. And then when you look at how much black men actually do deal with their women and actually want their women, that's another thing too. If people wanted black men to not date out, the best way to do that is to basically shame black women into acting like they got some fucking sense. But see, this is the problem. See, every group, like white people and other groups, have pretty much kind of coded up to undermine the black community by allowing the women to wild out. And a byproduct or a temporary byproduct of that is some dudes are going to bounce. And y'all will have to compete with them. And that's really up to your women. It is what it is. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. The other thing is, if you want to breed outside your race, do it. Don't put your views on other people. And this is where people get triggered because they make these assumptions. All my brothers date black people. Black women. I date black women. So this idea that somebody wants to breed outside their race, like, I know she wasn't really listening to me. She was just getting triggered. And quite frankly, folks are grown. I really give no fucks about your little insecurities. I just don't. This need that black people have of, oh, well, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to do this. And then these will be the same people that will say, I don't care if you date out. Just don't talk about it. Bitch, fuck you. And any nigga, fuck you. Like, seriously. We concentrate so much on that rather than earning each other because, the women are entitled. This is why generally I tell black men, y'all shouldn't even argue with these chicks. Y'all should just tell them, go get you a white man and go be great. Well, they black man ain't shit. You're right. Go get you a white man and go be great. Because all you doing, I mean, Kevin literally went to 1 million subscribers off saying, fuck those niggas, it ain't shit. What about the ones you actually want? Because it ain't like you checking for those dudes anyway. And then when they can't make that, there's not enough argument, then they gotta put the mirror back on them, and you see what happens. Because quite frankly, dudes, most black men are cool with settling. Most black men aren't having this like angry at the world. They either do it or they don't. But it's the women that they're like, I'd rather die alone than settle. Most black men don't have that kind of problem. We can tolerate more than what most other men can tolerate. But, you know, it's crazy because a lot of these women, when you actually, and there's a reason a lot of them don't like to verbally communicate with men, because a lot of them don't know how to talk, or their cracked out views start to come out. And I'm not saying this is her, but there's a reason why they like to stay over there and they never really come over here to communicate, because they need that worldview to be protected. They need to believe the world is the way they think it is, because that's what absolves them from accountability. Let's see. All right, so let's go. You know, what's going to get $5 for the Taraji needs black men. I mean, you know, my initial response to that is a day late and a dollar short. That's my initial response to that. Look, I've never had an issue with Taraji. This is not the first time she has said this. She has also talked about how being a black woman, like that hard, that being strong black woman shit ain't is for the birds. That narrative, which she was really commenting on, that black women push that narrative. And you know, it's nice to hear, but the reality of the situation is, the reality of the situation is a day late, a dollar short. Like saying we need, like, words don't mean shit. Words mean shit to the goofy ass motherfuckers that don't have options, or they have a need to want to feel they have a guilt problem. They need to feel validated by black women, because deep down they are. You have a lot of black men that truly feel like any bullshit black women do is ultimately black men's fault. Whatever they do, if they start slitting their wrists, slitting their throats, committing, that's black men's fault, because they really do buy into this idea that black women suffer under the thumb of white supremacy because black men were conquered. We were not conquered. We were bred. There's a difference. We were stolen and we were bred. Conquered would imply they conquered. They conquered Africa, and then they got us. That's not what happened. They were like, just like how we trade cars. You know, America isn't like Asia's not conquered because we sell cars over there, and we're not conquered because we buy Japanese cars. That's how slaves were. It was like that. And then in the meantime, they had a long-term policy of undermining those countries until they ended up colonializing them to get resources and deals. It's not the same thing. But see, that narrative needs to be there, because that is what gets black men. Yeah, I believe she was genuine, but she's one person. And I believe Taraji B. Henson was genuine because she said something like that a couple of times before. You know, when it wasn't necessarily the most popular thing to do so. But she's one person. And Taraji P. Henson is like, what, 55 years old? Yeah, she's 50 years old. So that shit don't matter. Her best years are behind her. And I'm not hating on her, you know? I mean, she ain't really in no movies I want to see. Yeah. Well, they'll say they didn't, Africa didn't see themselves so much from a national standpoint. They saw themselves from a tribal standpoint. So what they would say is, we don't even recognize race the way you niggas look at it. So we got rid of other tribes. That's how they'll see it. All women are desperate to the guy they pre-select. Absolutely, Georgia boy. That's why I understood when women were calling other women pygmies. I understood very clearly what that meant because I'm like, all of y'all are pygmies to the nigga you want. Like if Chris Brown were to walk in this motherfucker, all of y'all instant be a pygmy. Even even most of these women that are gay. Let's cut the bullshit. All women are pick me's to their first pick. Their first, what they call it, the all-star team, when they, do the all defensive team one, all defensive first team, all women are pick me's to their all pick first team. But so when they call other women pick me's, I'm like, why? Y'all will do the same shit. If the dude that y'all wanted, and let's not even say Chris Brown, but the archetype of the guy that you wanted walked in, you are going to act. So you're not like, what are you talking about? Breeding farms produce more slaves in the South. Absolutely. And all of them were in the South. Like Baltimore has a breeding farm. So they weren't in necessarily deep South like that. Know your worth, black. And that's another thing. I'm glad. Know your worth, black man. Greatest one. Weakness. Well, my point is the point that I want to highlight, and the point that I made when I made the original comment, when I was talking about it, was black men have this thing where if you say I want black children because I want my children to look like me because I care about my lineage. Good, I agree. Okay, and I have the same thing. But that doesn't mean that you sit there and you only deal with one group of women and then you allow them to monopolize sexual access. That's not intelligent. And no other group does that. And understand that black men are the least really about keeping it black. Other groups are much more have a protocol on their lineage plan than African American men do because they were never socialized to really have it. Yet they'll deal with other groups. Why? Because it's a sexual axis. You understand you have a biological drive to reproduce. And if that drive is not taken care of, that will, like food, water, shelter, that will interfere with your clear thinking and you wanting to build and do shit. This is why when women like to say, well, black men are all about big dicks and swag, this is because they were raised by bitches to make them like that. They are like that by design because that keeps them from not putting a woman in their proper place. So the same shit women complain about is the same shit that they help facilitate in order to maintain control. So this is why, technically, we'll have, even if you take the tricking argument off of it, which it's interesting how these women will judge a dude for buying shit, yet they got whole lifestyles funded. You see how quick these women are to selling their bodies, and you see how quick a lot of these professional women are to want to always keep a hold of being ratchet when they want to be, because they want to be a part of the ratchet club. So all this bullshit about black women are nowhere near as conservative as what they used to be. So they use that shit to sexually politic. Shout out to Mediocre Tutorial Reviews. He'll be doing an interview with the Blue Jasmine chick. That's gonna be interesting. A lot of dudes are kind of butthurt in the chat already. They're like, why are you giving this woman 15 minutes of fame? I'm like, you niggas really need to get over that dumb shit. I mean, a lot of this is business. Accept it. Stop crying. Please stop crying because it gets annoying. Well, we'll see what OnlyFans does. OnlyFans might try to have their cake and eat it too. As far as the BET Awards, I mean, they had the Triangle of Death. I mean, you got Cardi B dancing while pregnant, the ratchet shit in the world, and she gets charged of being black. Congratulations, black women, you played yourself on that one. You got Megan Thee Stallion to drive it home. I mean, literally, that's the gynocracy. That's all the buffer class gynocracy is represented for the most part. The light skin, the ratchet, and the gay. It's great. This is where the militant MGTOW advocates go wrong. Just never mess with gals. Focus on your purpose is what these fools say. No, we are made to want to clap. Yeah, it's not about not messing with them at all. And look, there's a and understand there's a difference between going monk mode. I don't even like to call it MGTOW monk mode. Doing a 90-day monk mode to focus and to really kind of reset yourself. That's not the same is and not even 90 days, 30 days, whatever. That's not the same as like what MGTOWs talk about. MGTOWs, like they try to talk about completely removing, not all, there's degrees to it. But the point is, what fucked them up is they allowed that to get pinned on them, which the reality is it should be solve the sexual access problem by any means necessary. And that's the policy. You know, there's certain things that are more preferred than others, and completely minimize the time that you are assigning to doing that. And this, but they don't want to do that because that leads into other things they may not necessarily want to promote. But that's where they go wrong. Yeah, you're right. Said when Megan said black women, well, she's a puppet. I mean, just like Lizzo, they're all puppets. Their job is to advertise. They're like cultural sponsors. They are sponsored to do certain cultural activities in order to make it commercial. That's their job. That's what they get paid for. So she's gonna say anything that she make it like they just like these 360 deals. They're gonna say anything they're told to say. So I don't watch any if you know even things like the Oscars. I go to Bing and see who won. I don't even bother to do that on BET. I mean, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, all that stuff is going to blow black on black women in the long run. In the long run, that's going to blow black on them. So that's them. Edward, what is wrong with Africa making a deal with China? I didn't say anything was wrong with Africa making a deal with China. What I said was I made a comparison between cars being sold and the slave trade. Because we make it sound like the African country were conquered and then their people were made to be slaves. That is not how that worked. But that's the narrative that gets told, and black men buy into that narrative. That's not what happened. That's all I'm saying. I don't care what they do with China, honestly. Maxine Waters co-sign can't tell me. No, you absolutely right. You can't tell me it's not done. Out of all the people they could have co-signed. Split Sparp said it's not crying. Ed Manosphere is really propping up. Nobody's propping her up. Like, dude, understand something. Let me straighten this out. Number one, it's a business. Fucking get over it. Okay? Straight up. Straight up. Get the fuck over it. You don't have to watch it. That's number one. Number two, she already has an OnlyFans, meaning motherfuckers are already paying her. Number three, she already had a sugar daddy or whoever she was with that elevated her lifestyle. That ain't the manosphere that did that. That was that goofy ass nigga that ain't even one of them goofy ass niggas that'll probably say dudes complaining about women are on YouTube. Let's call that what the fuck it is. One thing that she's probably good at, adept at, is she's good at positioning herself to be seen by the right people offline. The real money is offline. Motherfuckers ain't no simps really in the man. Like, stop it. And so people always get in there like, dude, at the end of the day, the manosphere has gotten to the point where these women will come to us rather than us talking about them. It's no different than making videos. And then people act like, you know, we paying them, we saving them. Like, it ain't that serious. Dude, the shit's already happening. It's almost as if y'all want to act like OnlyFans exists because, like, the black manosphere. There's shit that's completely outside of control. And another thing that I would say, and I said it in the chat, and this is what's really annoying me, that y'all are not seeing a bigger picture. Women, dudes need to hear. Nobody probably red pilled more people than Kevin Samuel's show. Because the reality is, a lot of dudes that would probably assume dudes are complaining heard the shit from the horse's mouth. Heard it from the horse's mouth. Now, with this chick, I'm not saying it needs to be a whole chitlin circuit of a thought bitch saying dumb shit. I'm not saying that. But what I every day, but I would have definitely liked what's her name? Something Simone. I would have definitely liked her when she talked about that blue collar shit. I would have definitely liked her to make the rounds. But my point is, you hear this stuff and you say, okay, maybe she misspoke. You do it in an interview format and you see that she's dumb as a box of rocks. You see all this stuff and these dudes, wow, this shit is really out here. Because a lot of these dudes ain't listening to what these city girls says, the music. They're not listening to these female music. They don't hear this. And then sometimes even women hear this is what y'all sound. So y'all talk about we just making shit up. Bullshit. Bullshit, we making this shit up. And it makes it harder to deny that. But y'all don't see that. All y'all see is you giving a female attention, wham, wham, wham. And I'm like, y'all, come on, man, grow the fuck up. Like, a lot of this shit is happening irregardless. OnlyFans is happening irregardless. The strip, nigga, we got a whole stripper culture. The manosphere didn't, like, I know you ain't blaming everything manosphere, but the whole, like, literally, look at BET right now. You really think we the ones that are fucking, like, think about that shit. Like, a lot of this shit is already baked. You're just living in it. So when people act it's really inconsequential if people are gonna give her attention or not give her attention. Like, all she got to do is throw a couple of dollars to, like, I Found Bay or whatever Instagram thought page. They're gonna get attention. Who you think got more impact? All these motherfuckers that are on all these thought pages on Instagram boosting that up, or like us interviewing one person? I mean, I get it, but let's put these things in their proper context. Because I dudes are really, some dudes are, and I ain't saying it's you, Spliff, but some dudes really be losing sleep over that. And then they sit there and they get all angry. And then dudes want to get on my panel or get on other panels and then start unloading on people. And it's like, at the end of the day, man, there's a business side to this too. And sometimes, and I'm gonna speak on shit, but hey, it is what it is. Dude, I haven't listened to him either. The only reason why I know is because there's a dude that was really going through the lyrics and really pointing out some of the crazy shit some of these women be saying. Like, these women be really out here. It's funny how they talk, because they trying to talk like a man, but yeah. The only time I heard SZA was really on that Black Panther soundtrack. Yeah, they are bird brains, and the worst type of females are the ones that think they smart and they think they woke, but they're actually stupid. Yeah, Ty City wants to be smart, smart ass. The manosphere is free. Why would she do that? I mean, I'm sorry, dude. If y'all are cucks and y'all got OnlyFans and y'all like to do that, like, us not showing you bitches ain't gonna stop that. I don't know what the fuck y'all really out here thinking. And this is why me and Zero always, when we get into it, because we got y'all niggas are on some, like, gender war purist bullshit, like, for real. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm kind of like the Near-Avengian in that way. I'm like that guy that's like, the world is the world. I'm gonna win in it no matter how it is. And all of y'all are in this kind of fake outrage bullshit where y'all think y'all gonna outrage y'all way into some shit, and that's not how it's gonna happen. And I'll tell you this, it'll come a time where motherfuckers that think it's cute to talk shit in the man, you gonna be in the manosphere, but like, y'all make content off really talking about what the fuck we doing and why we doing it. It's gonna come a time where that playtime is gonna be over with that shit. Like, for real. Because I'm telling y'all right now, if I ever do get, like, start to merge my business into this shit a little bit, and some of y'all want to play some having a fucking opinion on that, because y'all want to clout for views, trust me, those views aren't going to be worth it. They're really not. K Dot, I mean, I don't give a fuck about the bitch. I mean, honestly, and a lot of y'all don't even, and that's what's crazy. A lot of y'all don't even understand that. Y'all don't even understand that, dude, these women telling their quote unquote truth actually helps a lot of dudes wake the fuck up. Y'all don't understand that. Because y'all can't see y'all can't really see like 5 feet past your own bullshit. Like dead ass. Like motherfuckers are really out here. It's crazy because it's kind of like, nigga. Like I'm gonna start asking you niggas. So what? Are niggas just supposed to be MGTOW monks? Is that what that is? Niggas are just not supposed to talk about women. Pussy don't matter. Men only sausage fest. Is that what some of y'all are talking about? Because every time a bitch is brought up, y'all feel some type of way about it. Yeah, I'm implying what I'm implying. Every time. It's like y'all literally want to be the pussy police. And y'all think y'all better. And what's crazy is most of y'all ain't even been in this space long enough to even be doing that shit. And I ain't just talking about Thai City. A lot of y'all kind of really 3.0 types. And y'all really trying to tell motherfuckers that's been here since damn near, like Zero's different. Because I get it with Zero. But a lot of y'all ain't been here since the beginning. Y'all ain't been through the battles, the fights, all of that. Motherfuckers coming from the channel, the doxing. Y'all done see some goofy, dusty ass post Rumble nigga shit. But I'm talking about way before that. When there was no money to be found, a lot of us are still here. Ain't nobody gave a fuck about building no YouTube channel. People are using this as more of a social network. That's why you don't see us really on other. You notice how for the most part we're only on YouTube, and most folks ain't really on Instagram like that. Folks ain't really pushing on TikTok like that, even though there's incredible opportunities there. Even me, even till this day, you ain't seen me like truly make over my channel. You ain't seen me, I'm titling my stuff, tagging myself. I just fire this shit up and start running my mouth. But everybody want to be on the money police. Or they want to say, yeah, man, y'all go back blue pill. Some of y'all are already there. And y'all be the main ones talking that shit. It's like y'all want to worry about somebody else drinking alcohol because you the one that came out of Alcohol's Anonymous. Some people will say I'm probably one of the most consistent people on this platform, and the reason why I'm probably most consistent in my talking points is because I never had the fucking change in the first place. Yeah, there's a couple of things I learned along the way, but for the most part, I never had to go back and forth. I'm sorry. I don't have this thing where if a bitch looks good and she says some stupid shit, then I'm going to be like, oh, well, I don't necessarily need to call out the dumb shit she said. But if we're online, my point, I'm not on here to fuck bitches. I don't come to this space looking for pussy. So I have no problem being in approximation with a female. I'm going to stick to the points. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, she looked good, but what she said was dumb. Y'all, like, think about it. Jessica came on here, and I asked her. I didn't sit there and just talk that shit about what I didn't like, and then I didn't ask her when she was right there. I could have did that, and then hope y'all wouldn't have seen that. No, I asked her, and she addressed it. Anyway, K-Dot says, Nyla says, lied saying black men wouldn't. 55-year-old bitter. Oh, I mean, whatever. I'm not spreading that line. Look, man, they're gonna get louder and louder, and eventually people are gonna pity them. That's all that is. Like, so, yeah, that's all that is. Yes, fake spiritual chicks. Yep, the business of thoughts. I mean, it is what it is, dude. Prostitution's always been here. My thing is when motherfuckers start shaming black men for trying to get a better deal. That's when I have a problem with it. And what kills me is where are a lot of you niggas when you got dudes like Jap, like shaming dudes for leaving, or all these niggas that want to like do the player shit, the dating shit, telling these niggas it's all about game. That's where y'all need to be. That's where y'all need to be aiming that shit at, not over here, because those are the main niggas. Those are the main dudes. They be selling that shit. But I don't see y'all ain't nowhere to be found over where them niggas at. The dating sphere and all of that. Nah, y'all over here because y'all know them niggas ain't even gonna hear what the fuck y'all got to say. They just gonna block you and call and start and trying to roast you and call it a day. Because those are the ones that are making money off that shit. Another thing y'all are not understanding too is if women like that come around, then you're gonna see dudes come around like Rashid and stuff. I'm not acting like there's a background part of the plan, but my thing is I keep a bigger perspective. Game is about life. I mean, zero, whatever. Even if that's zero, I understand that point and I agree with that point. But can you honestly tell me that most of them niggas talking about game are really talking to that point? They're not. They don't talk about quality of life. They talking about how to get that bitch to fuck. They not even talking about how to deal with relationships. Oh, I get it. You being sarcastic. I get it. Okay, my bad. I mean, I don't disagree with approaching because my thing is I'd rather dudes approach than dudes. Here's the thing, Zero, on that point, and I get it, you're being sarcastic. I'd rather dudes approach than dudes be in a bitch's DMs giving her false validation or liking her pictures and shit, orbiting around a bitch's social media. That shit is done far more damage than motherfuckers approaching. Yes, I'm very aware of the laws and all of that. And at the end of the day, man, you like, and I wouldn't tell nobody to approach in a club either. That's dead to me. Senior, and I'm not talking about seniority. My point is there's a difference between somebody like Zero talking this shit when he was there from the beginning and somebody like you talking this shit because as far as I'm concerned, you low-key clout chasing Ty City. That's the difference. I know, agree or disagree with Zero, he's not clout chasing. You clout chasing. That's what annoys me about what you doing. You really don't give a shit about the purity of the manosphere like that. You really don't. So you bullshitting. that's funny as fuck. Like somebody stream team need to get that nigga. Like I would donate to them to put a clip together of Mike Rashid, but that nigga would be looking for motherfuckers for real, man. Mike Rashid be. I'm not shaming nobody, Mike Shannery. My point is, look, I'm in internet marketing. I'm in sales. I'm not hating on shit. But my thing is, motherfuckers are over here because the manosphere is very tolerant of dissentive opinions. So just like how dudes will say that, we sitting here and talking to these thoughts, we also entertain dudes that just want to come into this motherfucker and, talk down to what the fuck we're doing. I have a problem with that. Yeah, and it's not about seniority. Because you rarely hear me pull that. It's really about folks clout chasing over on the manosphere. That's the same. I see that as the same shit. So y'all worried about a bitch and about what people are doing on their channels. For the most part, a lot of dudes aren't even making videos about this woman. This woman is she's going on bigger channels and getting interviewed. It ain't like, a couple of people did videos here and there, but for the most part, it ain't like the shit is constantly being talked about. You want to know somebody I'm tired of fucking talking about is Cynthia. That's some shit that needs to stop. Y'all want to talk about something, talk about the fact she got like 70,000 subscribers and a lot of and them niggas ain't never been held to the floor, the ones that still listen to her. Q Butter sitting there backing her up. Those are the motherfuckers y'all need to be wilding out on. Not in my chat. I mean, let her. But the nigga, stop it. Y'all act like they can just come to us and be famous and some shit. I mean, y'all act like these females got like 1,000 followers on Instagram and they come through here and before you know it, they got 50K. That's not how that works. What do y'all? And then y'all act like this, she's like really one of the first females to really get interviewed like that. Like, what are y'all talking about? And then when you look at the channels that are interviewing them, that's what they do. That's what Fresh and Fit does. Kevin doesn't do interview. They all got women. Fresh and Fit, Kevin, and Mediocre. It ain't been nobody else that's been operated outside of that paradigm yet. O'Shea makes videos roasting. Steph is cold. Ain't nothing that happened outside of what normally happens. But y'all out here really trying to act like, oh, nigga, y'all are sipping, giving all these. Like, what are you talking about? What we doing is we building a case. I don't even want to spend that much time on that. Niggas are like it's for real. Cause I don't be going in people's chats telling them like, yeah, it's a new manosphere. Like, I'm getting tired of that. Gay be coming in here, bullshit. If life is a game, well, that's not what he said. He didn't say life is a game. He said game is about life. My problem is my problem is they don't really speak to that. The only person that I think does a good job, or I won't say the only person, the two people I think that I used to recommend that did the biggest job on stuff like that was Glenn and Cameron and Steph is Cole. And I'm not like, though they did a really good job. Donovan Sharp is informative and entertaining, but you know, yeah. Who you talking about? I ain't really talking about nobody. Stop talking about the United States. Yeah, they are. Yeah, and see the bro for coming at you when you really low key is. Man, I'm not worried about them. Like, you notice I left that fucking video up, right? I'm answering questions in the chat as nothing spurred this on. It was really a comment that, and I already addressed that, so y'all can hear that in the beginning. Whatever, man. You be an extremist. I mean, Ty City. I said what I said. Like, you being overly dramatic. I mean, honestly, the problem is niggas can't talk about game. Talking about game and talking about like Illuminati shit is the fastest way to lower Negroes' IQ. And then talking about religion too. Niggas like to feel smart, so they say fill in the blank. Insert this game. Insert it and call game. Fill in the blank. I don't like that. I mean, I'm cool with Gabe A, but sometimes, you know, motherfuckers be really out here making shit matter that don't matter. You know, it's and since I've been in this bitch, it's always somebody talking about like what a manosphere ain't doing or something like that. It's always like that. It really is. It's always like that. And quite frankly, that shit has kind of annoyed me because that's always been an easy way for people to kind of get views, talking about what the fuck people ain't doing, trying to hold people, quote unquote, hold people accountable. And I'm like, what are you talking about? The shit just keeps on going. And now people have this fear that oh well, money's gonna be involved and so people's gonna change. Yeah, you got some people that's gonna probably try to switch up and modulate for views, especially as you see certain people growing. But I understand why certain people grow and why certain people don't. Like, the more you niche down, the harder it is to grow. Like, for instance, Poor Man Podcast is not necessarily a black manosphere channel. You know, Jada Black is not necessarily a black. So they can their videos can reach more people. That's all it is. And for the most part, I haven't seen that many. It's not about saying anything. It's this constant fear and alarmist bullshit, Ty City. That's my problem. This alarmist niggas are going like niggas like. I'm sorry. I mean, this ain't like the fucking Noah's Ark or the last Ark of the Covenant or some shit. It really isn't. Well, behavior is everything. I mean, my money's increasing. My money's increased a little bit. But at the end of the day, I've always understood, I learned that with dealing with the pro-black stuff. White supremacy's biggest weapon is its economics. Economics is a weapon to control people's mentality. So just like how you get control over your sexual access by solving that problem, you also solve the economic problem, because that's also the method of control. This is why I've always talked about affiliate marketing, because but there's other ways, obviously, too. Trucking is another way. There's plenty of ways that guys can do that. And so when dudes get on here, I mean, that's Boyce Watkins in a nutshell. Follow the money. But at the end of the day, I knew that going in. So this channel was never built with the pretenses of growing. Otherwise, I would have been at like 50 or something thousand subscribers. I don't depend on YouTube. So I don't give a fuck. That's why I wasn't really worried about what Nyla and them were doing. And that's another thing, by the way, why it's important that we do grow the space overall. So if somebody checks our channels, we can railgun it, railgun them back. This is why I sit there and promote smaller channels. But those dudes understand, just because somebody trying to grow, I mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. The environment is the environment. Like with these motherfuckers they're gonna be, if they want to be emotional dope dealers, have at it. They want to start emotionally dope dealing, have at it. Start giving dudes hope, telling them what it is, and people say, "Well, ain't that what Kevin's doing?" No, dudes, listen, dudes already on the shit that he's talking about. They don't like. I'm not interested in convincing Negroes to find religion. They're either gonna find it or not. Our job is to pretty much get the information out there. What they do with it is up to them. Grinch was just talking on a video, and he was just talking about, with this Taraji P. Henson thing, that, you always going to have Negroes that are going to be very willing to find a master. Y'all need to accept that. And y'all, quite frankly, need to accept that the majority of black men are always going to be that way. At least from millennials going up. The Z's probably not so much, and the alphas less than them. So a lot of this is just time. I mean, COVID really shook things up. I mean, things are moving a lot faster than like, I don't know why y'all mad. I mean, a lot of this shit is like, we're pretty much 7 years ahead of time. This shit wasn't supposed to be like this until I was supposed to be basically 40. So a lot of y'all are like that's one reason why I get real dismissive on some of y'all talking and shit, because I'm like, yo, shit was supposed to take a lot longer than this for automation and stuff to kick in. COVID pretty much gave companies an excuse. You got new companies that's going to be coming on with new technology. You got new small businesses that'll be coming on, more automation. Like it ain't new retail. A lot of stuff is moving, yo. It don't matter if your favorite YouTuber is not as much of a firebrand as they used to be. The focus on the environment. And what about the dudes? Did they go back to simping? Let them. They're gonna be eaten. And that'll be a lesson to the Z's. They'll be eaten. Cause once you put the blood in these bitches' mouth, they can't take it out. These women can't go from showing their titties to working hard. No, it doesn't work that way. Just like you can't really go from selling dope to wanting to work a 9 to 5. It don't work that way. It just doesn't. So I am not worried. Ha! Hold on, I gotta show that shit. Zero said the PPP. Yo, I love those videos, man. Shout out to that accountant dude. I love those videos. Like, boy, you know how I know people ain't sleeping at night with that PPP shit. Because people tell, yeah, man, hey, you got an internet business. Why don't you get a PP loan so you can do, you can spend money on ads? I'm like, I'm not touching that shit because I don't want them niggas even looking at my shit. Nope, I'm not touching that shit because once they start looking, I've learned the value of it. If they not digging, don't give them a reason to. Don't do it. And them niggas, they want to treat that shit like a stimulus package. I feel sorry for you. Hey, Edward, what should I do? I don't know, nigga. Why you asking me? I'm not a professional. You know what I would do? I'd pay it back. The fuck you mean? Exactly. You want a solution, but you don't want to do it. I'd pay that money. Like them niggas took that loan. First of all, if I would have took a PPP loan, I wouldn't have spent it. That would have been money just in that bitch. But with y'all, and look, some people are set up. See, here's the thing. Some people are set up where you could legitimately do that. But niggas sitting there tricking it off, like, and I knew it. People took their stimulus packages. You know what's crazy? How many people could have took their stimulus money and probably pretty much, built the little setup and then on some YouTube shit? Nah. Hell, some of y'all niggas buy a Bowflex or some shit. Get your body right. Nah, these niggas wanna pretend that shit will nigga, let's hustle. Okay. Y'all listen to Brother Polite if you want to. Or like what Ty C's saying, if you did it and used it as a flipping mechanism, if you really got that kind of hustle, you could have got away with that. But nah, man, y'all want easy money and y'all got greedy. Exactly. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I hope the government gets a lot of them motherfuckers. That's not what that shit is for. I'm a taxpayer. Fuck that. I hope they get them. Nigga, that ain't real. Fuck your real. You saying COVID created a bigger trick pool? Not really. Because dudes are getting smart. It's not as look, man. I want to say this and I want to be clear. I get the dudes are willing to trick. But one thing I think you all are not considering is these women, if you can't change their life, they don't give a fuck. It used to be that women at least would put up appearances for a guy that would pay for their food they didn't intend to fuck. They don't do that no more. Now they in their phone, they doing all crazy shit. If you ain't changing their life, they don't give a fuck. And with that blue bitch, even then, they don't give a fuck. You know who I want to interview? I want the dude that did that. And all these interviews, was he white or black? So just because it's a bigger trick pool don't mean that these dudes are actually putting up the money necessary to get respect. I mean, you got to think about it. A lot of these women, they really out here thinking that like dudes don't respect women, don't respect that. Yeah, you trick a G on a bitch. She don't respect. She ain't gonna treat you with respect. The cost of tricking is, I'm not saying the real cost of tricking, but the perceived cost of doing it in the United States is so high, like, because these women are so entitled, that is going to punish those dudes. That's going to punish them. Because think about it. A lot of these females, because trust me, just because OnlyFans is going under, there's other websites that they'll use. Trust me. So they're gonna be punished. So I'm not worried about that. Them niggas they're gonna be punished just like Boyce Watkins. They're gonna be punished just like Boyce Watkins. I got a photo to show you motherfuckers. Hold on one second. Well, I ain't know I had all this in my recycling bin. I'm glad I. Hold on 1 second. Anyway, I ain't even gonna do that to Boyce Watkins today. I'm gonna leave him alone. I said this before. As much as there red pill knowledge out there, there are millions of men that have no idea women are like this. Well, I mean that's the good thing. Where stuff is getting pushed out, and people be like, "Well, Kevin ain't everything. Ain't about him." What he does is he creates kind of. It's kind of like he creates kind of like more like liquidity. People just got to take advantage of it. I took the PPP money. I'm an owner operator truck driver, and I used to get it forgiven. Well, that's different. I mean, you got a legitimate thing. You're a legitimate contractor. We talk about motherfuckers that were bullshitting. Yeah. So I'm not. So y'all like. I guess the lesson in this video. Get some tissue paper. What are you talking about? Put Jackson in a room with the real deal manosphere person in a debate, and the dude would get the money. I mean, yeah, Derek Jackson got. They tried to protect him in Clubhouse. That shit was funny as hell. Because one dude tried to get him, but Derek Jackson is. Yeah. Shout out to Hold on. Shit's updating. Let me. Speaking of Derek Jackson, let's see where Derek Jackson is at. Oh my god. Yeah, he's slowly dropping. He's at 704. He's slowly like when he get under that 699, that's gonna be fucked up. Yeah, they do. And you gotta think, man, he's still some people are still subbing to him. His view count is really fucked. I'm sorry. I'd rather y'all can say what y'all want to about Kevin. I'd rather Kevin be where he's at and Derek where he's at than the reverse. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find the photo. Yeah, man. I mean, some of these. Let me see. Let's see if I can find the photo. Oh yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna show you this picture. Press one if y'all ready for me to show this picture. Please, I ain't worried about that. Now what you call is at his million. Now it's time to worry about other people. No, I don't know if he was black. I mean, white dudes be doing some crazy shit. Nah, you be surprised. You be surprised. Now I want all the zero, Tie City, Georgia boy, especially Georgia boy, because you married. I want to ask y'all something. Hold on before I share it, cause too many tabs. I'm curious. So tell me, what do you think about this picture? Take a good look at this picture. And what do you think? What does that shit look like to you? Like we're gonna do this like art. What are your thoughts? I didn't even notice the gold chain like that. Boyce Watkins said that Smirgo on his Twitter that we're jealous. You know what's funny is I got a boss that looks just like I had a boss that looks just like her. I'm not even gonna lie. I've contemplated what you said. I've contemplated what you said, G. I've thought about that. All right, y'all. I'm about to hang this up. I appreciate it. Anyway, Artie Igmore, um, Artie Igmore is live right now, so I'm about to hang this up. I appreciate the super chats. Shout out to Aisa. I appreciate your $2 cash app. That is always appreciated. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Zero. Boyce is winning. He got his new bottom B out here putting in work on the YouTube track. Y'all just mad that in the end he waited until she's done with all that square biz from the past to get with the real P. Ha 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 ha. I mean, it really is. And my thing is, like, Boyce is traditionally, dudes ain't really trying to jump on Boyce like that. And it's really sad because I'm like, I don't know who told him to use his marriage like that. I mean, he should have just used that for the females. I don't know why he out here trying to tell us what we should do. That makes no sense. It really doesn't. But anyway, y'all, make sure y'all check out Artie Igmore. Let him know I sent you. Also, check out Grinch's video because he really addresses that to Taraji P. Henson like it needs to address. As far as the BET crap, I mean, I don't know what to say with that because, you know, with Cardi B, remember, if Cardi B's pregnant, that means that Offset shit when she was going to divorce him, that shit's bullshit. And that's it's really, I find it really ironic. Because what it clearly shows you is Cardi B ain't living like she talking. Not completely. And you got a lot of these women that they're here to sell you a narrative. And a lot, it's funny. He said he's on a delay. Georgia boy, is that how your wife embraces you? I mean, you know what? Nobody cares who he got with. The problem is not who he got with. I mean, people wouldn't even brought it up. The problem is Boyce goes out of his way to use his marriage as like a weapon to attack black men. And then he gets upset or throw rocks. That's the issue. And he's saying crazy shit. Like, Boyce ain't even talking about marriage. Boyce is talking about you should want to be a stepfather. And truth be told, if you really want to help women, you should did a step or single mothers. You need to tell them, look, you need to remove all. Here's the reality. The reality is you are asking men to sacrifice to take care of your child. There's no way around that. And so if you want to increase the pool of quality men that are willing to do that, you're going to have to create an incentive. And quite frankly, black men are not asking for a lot. End of. That's it. And if they get mad, let them get mad. And if Boyce, and honestly, if Boyce was smart, let the females that are on his channel say it. Let them say it. But he don't want to do that. And I was just thinking about, like, anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. So like I said, make sure you check out Art of Igmore. You know, shout out to the No Bitches Allowed channels. And yeah, that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.